James chapter 5, verse 1 onwards. Now listen, you rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming upon you. This is straight criticism of the rich people. Weep and howl, ESV, for the miseries that are coming to you. Your riches have rotted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your riches have rotted. What does that mean? All right, so let's. Your wealth has rotted, and moths have eaten your clothes. Your gold and silver are corroded. Your gold and silver are corroded. Crazy. Your gold and silver have corroded, and the corrosion will be evidence against you. You'll eat your flesh like fire. This judgment language, fire. This sounds like there's a huge judgment reserved against those who are rich. But the riches have corroded. The riches have pretty much corroded and eating eat your flesh like fire. My goodness. I'm switching back at NIV and kind of thing. Okay. Eat your flesh like fire. You hoarded wealth in the last days. There you go. You see, the problem with you laid out treasure in the last days or hoarded wealth, there isn't better. NIV is saying that you are hoarding wealth. You are rich, but you're hoarding wealth for yourself. You're not sharing. You know, when I first read the first line, I feel like it almost does sound like communism or socialism, right? That's what most young people rally for revolution through the history. In Russia, in China, in France, in Europe, today in America, especially in the campuses, the cry for redistribution of wealth. You see, there is some legitimacy to it. The rich hoard their wealth to themselves. Millions and billions, and I'm talking about billions. Some of the atrocity, some of the big corporate companies, the things that they do, the lobby, the Congress, and the profit they suck it in at the expense of the people. That's why it says, your riches have rotted, your garments are moth-eaten. God sees all this, guys. See, your gold and silver is corroded. You have hoarded your wealth. My goodness. NIV is a lot clearer. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. For what? Okay, you go a cruise in the Mediterranean, you buy a yacht, you go 2 yachts, and you go around. You basically, when they made it, probably have about 30 years left in their life. Or less, or slightly more. Whatever the case may be, their hoarding serves no purpose. Do they want to give their billions of dollars to their children only? Oh yeah, they give to the trust, give to non-profit. That is great. That is cool. See, that sharing, it may never at the expense of others. Their corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. What corrosion? Corrosion, you can take it as a moral corruption. The way you get to your wealth and all this in this last days and in this day in your life, if that has moral corruption, that's why it says here, right? James 5 verse 3. Your gold, silver are corroded. The money you earn are corroded, it says. Their corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. How is that so? What's that mean? That is the judgment of God, because judgment of God is about fire. All right, so the judgment towards those moral corruption and the means and the unethical, the wrong ways, and greed-driven, self-driven, all this bad stuff would testify against the rich people and eat their flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. This is not saying all the rich people are in that condition. No. All right. But the South, there's a lot of them are in these conditions. Some rich people share in it equitably, and there's some and they acquire the wealth in an honest way, and there's no moral corrupt. It's really difficult to do that if you don't have the power of Christ. Seriously, if you don't come to Christ, the empowerment of Christ into your lives, it's just impossible to really go on to live the life that God wants you to live in this world, and this in the midst of so much temptation and all this. Okay. All right, so this is already 5 minutes. I'll stop here. I'll do video 2 right after this.